Yo, it's Jivan. So in my first How to Improve an Arena video, I talked about how a lot of people have trouble surviving off the rip, like they die at their drop spot, yada yada. So today I just want to take some time and talk about how I approach mastering a drop spot. Let's get it. The first thing I want to say is to master a drop spot, you need to stick with one spot. You need to choose a spot that suits you and then master it. If you keep hopping from spot to spot without actually mastering one spot, then you're never going to be able to learn a spot and you won't have a spot for tournaments. So your game starts as soon as you jump out of the bus. A lot of people know this, but you gotta time your jump and aim for the best possible spot so that you don't mess up your landing. But once you pull your glider out, you should be studying who else is coming to your spot. Also, who is going to nearby spots. And then once you have all that figured out, you should be trying to figure out where people are landing at your drop spot. So let's break that down. The reason you want to study who's going to nearby spots is because you are at risk of them third-partying you. And on top of that, when you're rotating the zone, you might run into them. So you want to know if there's people landing at the nearby spots so that you can expect to run into them or strategize how you're going to evade them and get to zone. And the reason you want to know where exactly people are landing at your drop spot is because if you know where they are, you can try to predict their rotations and catch them off guard. Over time, the more you land at a drop spot, the better your predictions of their rotations will be, if that makes sense. So basically, say I see somebody land at the top of Weather Station, I know they're going to rotate down, and they probably won't look outside. If I land at the house next door, I could probably rotate into the bottom of Weather Station because they're going to be looting those top 2 floors. But if I know they're up there, then I'll be ready to block off my top in case they do take a peek or something. Or if I get really good loot at the house next door, I can build up to high ground and surprise him from above. It's all about strategy when it comes to a drop spot. The other person there might have better mechanics than you, but if you know how to strategize and predict their rotations, and you learn that with time and repetition, if you can learn that, then you'll win the fight every single time. For example, last season, I was landing at the rig, and at first, oh my gosh, I was dying so much. Like, you don't understand. It probably took me a couple days of just dying over and over again, and eventually I learned how people move, how they rotate inside of the rig, and I knew how to catch them off guard and basically catch them without even weapons half the time. Like, it's so easy. Once you learn how people rotate within a drop spot, you can catch them off guard. So if you haven't already done this, start paying attention to where people land and try to kind of watch how they move. You can also look in VOD reviews and just watch replay mode and just try to look for patterns of how people move when they land at different spots. Now I want to talk about a strategy that works really well in trios. Let's say it's just you and one other trio landing at a drop spot. You want to study where the other trio is landing, each individual person. Because if you see 2 people going to one building and then one person is splitting from the rest of the trio, your whole trio could just land on that one person and it's a 3v1, and then once you take out that guy, it's a 3v2. That's a big strategy for off-spawn fights in trios. My trio has mastered multiple spots, and the way we do it is just by doing that. Landing on one person that splits, trying to get them split and then taking out one person, so then it's a 3v2. Bub, you want to land over here with me at this house?
Yeah.
It looks like he's trying to contest, but we can double team him. Alright, let's jump on him. Because you can win almost every single time when it's a 3v2. So all of our trio members are just looking around, trying to scan where they're landing, and as soon as we see one person splitting, we say, there, mark it, and then we push him, and it's an easy win.
It's 2 at the house north of us, 1 man is super late.
Alright, once you get a shotty, let's push.
A second.
They are outside, they're pushing over.
There's a kid on me in a bush.
He's coming to the door.
Coming to you. There's a kid on me in a bush.
Pickaxe. Now let's talk a little bit more about solos. So my first piece of advice would be to practice landing at one spot within your drop spot, like a chest or some ground loot or a building. Practice one spot and learn how to rotate from that spot. For example, I've been landing at the small building at Weather Station. Once I mastered that spot, I knew how to rotate. If I didn't get good loot, I could rotate out one of the sides. yada yada. You want to figure out stuff like that, like where can you go in different situations. Anyways, I hope this helps you guys out a little bit. Once you figure out a drop spot and master it and win there every single time, you'll notice yourself going into mid-game with such good loot. Like, I have a spaz almost every game. This is so huge and sets you up so good to get a lot of kills in one game. Like, I swear I get more kills when I land Weather Station than I do at Stark, just because I have it mastered so well that I can get good loot really fast and start W keying really early. But anyways, if this helped you guys out, make sure you share with teammates so that you guys will all be on the same page and you guys are all improving together. And drop a like and subscribe if you're new, it helps me out a lot. And comment something you want me to do a tutorial on in the future. Thanks guys, have a nice day, peace.